Hey athletes, so Josh, how many sets a week should I be doing? Now, I wish I knew the exact answer to tell you that. You know what, if you did this many sets of chest every week and then did this next week, that I would guarantee you that you're going to see results. I wish I could tell you that, but every single person responds differently. That's why we talk a lot about mindset and concepts with the Complete Athlete. We are constantly talking about this. Why? Because I really don't know. That's why we give you cookie cutter nutrition guides, is to give you a basic understanding of what we're trying to accomplish, a basic understanding of food, a basic understanding of training and things like that. Because again, you have to kind of drive your own vehicle a little bit, okay? Now, people get personal trainers all the time to help kind of navigate this. That's totally fine. But again, if you're doing this by yourself, I wish I could tell you, okay? And if anybody ever tells you without having known you for multiple training phases, years, whatever, if they tell you, hey, I got the answer right here, they're lying to you, okay? They don't really know, okay? So, how many sets a week can you do? Now, if you're a seasoned athlete, been doing this for so many years, you can't even remember, you're maybe a high-level competitor for powerlifting, weightlifting, whatever, when I say that 12 sets of work per week as a minimum is what you need to do, you might think I'm crazy. And here's why. Some powerlifters, on a Monday, they might, let's say it's squat day, they might do 6 sets of 1 or 5 sets of 2, right? Some really hard strength training when they're in their higher their higher intensity schemes, getting closer to a competition, right? And then on Friday or Thursday or whatever, they might squat again and do 4 sets of 3 or whatever. That's only, 9 or 10 sets, and holy crap, if you're, 6 sets of 1 back squat at 600 pounds, you probably don't need to push it to 12 sets. You might not need that many sets. But for the average athlete, especially if you're fresh off the boat, let me give you some advice. So, I usually recommend, whether it's for legs, pushing, pulling, a great place to start is 12 sets per week. Now remember, I'm not saying 12 sets of legs in one workout, which you could certainly do. There are plenty of professional bodybuilders out there that they'll do between 12 and 20 sets in one leg day, and that's all they'll do for the week. Again, that's the cripple your legs, you can't walk for a week, but hey, it does work, okay? We want to take that same principle, 12 to 20 sets. Some people can handle more. Some people need less. And we always want to start low, okay? We only, especially in our first week, let's say, we only want to give ourselves just enough stimulus to promote growth, okay? Then from there we can build on it. Rather than just hammering ourselves in that first week and having nowhere to go, and we're going to lose our results real quickly, okay, if we have nowhere to go. So I usually say start with 12 and build your way up. Maybe in the first week it's 12 sets of legs, chest, back, whatever, push or pull. Then maybe next week it's 14 sets, then maybe 16, then 18. And as you get closer to 20, this is where individual differences are going to be very key. You have to know, holy crap, I did too much. Now, doing 1 week of too much, maybe you're at 18, you felt like, wow, that was a lot. And then you get to 20 sets in a week. Maybe you split it up between 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, whatever. You do 20 sets. And you say to yourself, whoa, there's no way I can do 21 sets. 20 was over the limit. I can't believe it. That's perfect, okay? That 1 week where you do maybe a little too much, that's fine. Just once, though, 1 week. Then we take a deload, which we'll talk about in the future. So again, start at 12, maybe 14 if you're a little more seasoned. So again, you might decide, I'm going to do 4 really heavy sets of bench press on Tuesday. So there's 4 sets of chest. Then I'm going to do 3 pretty heavy, moderate sets of incline bench, whatever. And then I'm going to save the rest for when I do it Friday. Or if you really want to hammer out your chest, maybe you do those 4 sets of something heavy, 3 sets of incline or whatever. Then maybe you do 3 more sets of shoulder presses, okay? So you have now done 10 total sets. And then when you come back for that second day, because remember here we talk about splitting up your workout so you can come back and really hammer it out. Maybe when you come that second day, maybe it's Friday or whatever, maybe you're thinking, okay, I really just want to hammer 4 sets of dips. Great. There's your 14 sets. And then maybe next week you have the same 10 sets on Tuesday. Maybe you add some weight in there. And then when you're adding those 2 extra sets, maybe instead of doing 4 sets of one exercise and then 2 sets of another, maybe you split it up and do 3 sets of one, 3 sets of the other. Then the following week, now we're doing maybe 17 or 18 sets. Maybe you add it again to Friday. Okay, and just keep hammering it out on Tuesday. Then once you get to that 4th week, maybe 5th, sometimes people push it to 5. I really don't recommend that. I recommend at the 4th week is where you really want that volume to be as crazy as it is, and then you're going to deload from there. Maybe that 4th week, you finally then add a set or 2 of work to that Tuesday workout. And the same thing goes for legs, chest, back, whatever. Because now imagine, let's say you're doing your push-pull like we recommend on a Tuesday. You do your 7 to 10 sets of chest, you're pushing on Tuesday, plus maybe you're doing 4 sets of back. That's 11 sets of work already. That's quite a bit. 14 if you're doing 10 sets of chest. 14 sets, that takes some time, okay? Especially if you're putting a lot of mental thought into it and some serious effort. Whoa, okay? And then again, as the weeks go on, you might add an extra 2 sets to that Tuesday. And now remember, because you have back, you're thinking about back too, instead of just doing 4 sets of back, now you're already doing 8 sets of back on your Tuesday. I mean, we're talking a lot of work, right? We're pushing each workout to be almost 20 sets. Now, same goes for your legs. I like to think that your legs, you can split it up where push and pull, just like you would for your upper body. So maybe you're really focusing on 7 sets of squats on Monday and focusing on your hamstrings a little bit, maybe 4 sets-ish to start on Monday. And then when Thursday comes around, maybe you're really going to hammer out those hamstrings. Maybe it's a deadlift day and you're going to do maybe 6 or 7 sets. Well, I wouldn't recommend 6 or 7 sets of deadlifts, but something specifically for your hamstrings. And then maybe you do some lunges or some jumps or something like that for your quads. Again, start somewhere and build up. Don't start at the top and think you can keep going. Again, we're going to keep adding volume and then recovering so we can add some more weight, okay? Same amount of sets, maybe even the same rep schemes, and then we can deload. Then maybe we go into doing a little bit more heavy repetitions, but maybe the sets are somewhat similar. And again, we're always going to be in flux, but we always have a plan and we always have intent and a reason to do what we're doing. We're not just throwing a bunch of darts at the board, okay? We have a plan and we're going to see how that responds in our body.